Being in the town of Hisare for a couple of days, I found that in the vicinity there is a village with an equestrian center, and because I never been on a horse until now, I decided to go there and to give it a try. You know, we have often many opportunities that we lose just because we don't even try to something new, which is not good because we miss very interesting possibilities for future memories and things to tell to ourselves and to others in the future. And this is the main arena where, as I understood, they have some equestrian competitions. There are the tribunes where you can watch the competitions when there are such. And there is a cat which pretends to be a horse. And now I'm going to the stable to have a horse riding lesson. It will be for 30 minutes. The training will be held in a closed arena, not on the open air, because outside is a little bit cold. It's not a problem for the horses themselves, but for the soil. It's a little bit slippery and it could be dangerous for a beginner as me. So let's do it. So here is the closed arena, basically a large hangar with a thick layer of sand on the floor. And here is where all the trainings will happen this morning because of the cold weather outside. I decided to come here a little earlier, and there are already people on horses. As it seems, they are much more advanced in riding, much more confident, training obviously for a long time, and they seem to practice riding on a quite professional level. It is very possible the Equestrian Centre has its own sports team, and these people could be very well part of it. Anyway, while waiting for my turn, I'll try to figure out how they are moving while on a horse, how they are doing it, what is the right posture, and so on. Looking at them, I feel a little bit intimidated, although it seems easy, but I already know nothing is quite easy for the first time. I hope I'll be better on a horseback at least than this kid. It seems the training of the pros just ended and they start to take out their horses. Now is the turn of all the complete beginners as me. I'm not the only one who has subscribed for a riding lesson, and I'm not the first one to get on a horse, which, by the way, is not one of those that the advanced riders trained on. Seems this one is slightly smaller and probably meeker than the others. Anyway, I'll get the chance to see how the training lessons goes. As I expected, the trainer leads the horse in a circle with a rope, while giving some advices on how to move correctly and how not to jolt in the saddle like a sack of potatoes, how to keep the rhythm of the movement, and so on. It starts with just the horse slowly walking, and once you get somehow used with the movements, the trainer launches him in a trot. Alright, now it's my turn. Let's see how it will go. I thought it would be a good idea to take the camera with me to get some shots from the horseback, but I'm glad I didn't. It could be dangerous while not being used to ride a horse, and probably I wouldn't be allowed for safety. For my surprise, it isn't so difficult. Once you get the rhythm of the horse and you get used to move correctly, it becomes easier, although it is tiring because you have to hold the horse with your legs and not to rely so much on the stirrups. as I was told, they are just for some extra support, but you have to keep yourself on the saddle and to lift your body with the movement of the horse through clenching him with your legs. I was even able to enter the stables and to take a glimpse of the stallions and the mares inside. It was very interesting to me to see for the first time by myself what a stable looks like from the inside. I was surprised that after a training they wash the hooves of every horse to remove the sand from the arena and to keep the place clean, which makes sense. I just didn't think of that. Then, after unsaddling it, the trainers get some kind of a blanket to keep the horse warm, and just after that I could give it some goodies I previously bought at the entrance. Well, I did it and it was amazing. You know, it was tiring a little bit, but not too much. I expected to be much more difficult than it was. But you know, I'm glad I did it because I'm trying always to try new things. I have to take a seat for a while and, you know, trying to do new things and to try new things. It's important because it creates our future memories. Besides that, there is always an opportunity to find a new skill, to learn a new skill, to learn something new. And you never know what you could use in the future from your new skills. Of course, most of the things won't be something that we could use in our everyday lives, but anyway, you never know. Besides that, I have heard of a Chinese saying going like, when your days goes quicker, your years goes slower. And that means that you are living well. Because yes, if you think about it, when you are doing many things in your life, in your everyday life, or in your life in general, you lose track of the notion of time because you are so interested in the things you are doing that you don't have the time to think about the time. I stayed a little bit longer and it appeared that it's not just an equestrian base but also a great hotel with pools and all kind of stuff. And by that time the weather changed and now in the afternoon we have sun. Besides, those are the stables of the horses and they are many. So I think that I'll stay for a couple more hours to enjoy the place. Anyway, the entire point of this video was that you have to try new things from time to time at least, because you know, trying new things gives you experience, gives you memories and probably some skills, but it's not always easy to decide to try new things because of our zone of comfort and so on and so forth. But tell me, did you try something new recently and what it was? Or if you didn't, why and what stopped you from trying that thing that you probably wanted to try. Great weather. I forgot my sunglasses because in the morning it was cloudy. And there's even this pool right here on the open air, which, yes, you can't use it in January because the water should be very cold. With the weather that suddenly got much warmer, I decided to spend a little bit more time and to enjoy the place. There is a great restaurant and a nice cafe, and I'm glad I stayed longer here before returning to Hisaria. That gave me the opportunity to enjoy this amazing sunset.